All right, so I know we had a long day, it seems, of awesome learning, knowledge exchange, a lot of great topics. So I want to take this hour, maybe a little less, to make it about you. First off, let me introduce myself, and then I'll explain what that means. So, my name is Brian Williams. I do have a master's degree in psychology, specifically applied behavior analysis. I've spent a large portion of my professional career working with families and children with autism, and developing skill sets or developing those relationships, helping the parents sort of cope with the things that they need to cope with when it comes to having a child on the spectrum, or some of the other things that come with that. What I've been driven to lately, I'm sorry, can I pull this out here? This is, okay. What I've been driven towards lately is adolescent age youth, parent trainings, training other professionals and individuals, and just passing on my knowledge that I do have, hopefully, and helping you guys sort of be the best you, essentially, right? I'm going to be a little corny up here today, so bear with me. Yeah, thank you. Hopefully you guys all have the handout. We're going to get to that very shortly. Don't go there yet. But we started a company called Weaving Wellness and Diversity Management. Basically, we just saw that there needed to be a little bit more representation for individuals of color, essentially. I noticed a lot of these companies are great companies. They hired me on, but they're owned by one specific culture. And so we decided to go ahead and break off and just bring our perspective to the field, essentially. This is my contact information if you want. I wasn't smart enough to put it at the end of the slideshow, so if you do want to get a hold of me, feel free to look this over or come to me after the training. There's our website, weavingwdm.org. Our email address, weavingwellnessdiversity@gmail.com, and that is my personal phone number, so feel free to take that down. All right. Basically, like I said, we're going to make this about you today. Who here is a little stressed? Come on, who's a little stressed? I know I was stressed putting this together for you guys, especially when I heard there's going to be over 100 people. And then I called, I think it was yesterday, and she's like, oh, about 90. It's like, oh, yes, just 90. And then I thought to myself, wait a minute, that's still 90 people. Man. Okay. So yeah, we're all stressed. We're adults. We are just, it's like almost expected that if you're not stressed, you're not being successful, right? You're not trying hard enough. And so, it's unfortunate that that's the way our society is driven, because we shouldn't be driven towards stress to be successful. We should be driven towards a perfect work-life balance, right? So I hope that we can take some time today and really, really focus in on your own personal way of developing your own work-life balance, your own self-care plan. That's what's in front of you. Basically, it's this, are you stressed enough to be considered a well-rounded person, right? It's pretty common that that's how we think as a society. And that, yeah, you have to have this high level of stress in order to be successful. That's not true. And that's one thing that I've learned with starting this company that I love about my life right now, is that I don't feel stressed, and I don't feel like I'm successful in the way that people think I need to be successful, I'm successful in that I can spend more quality time with my kids, right? To me, that's worth, I hate to put a number on it, but $1 billion, you know? I feel like a billionaire every day. So ask yourself, does this, and this is I don't know if this is a new term, but I thought about it when I was writing the slideshow. Does this success stress, what does this bring forth? Does this not bring forth trauma in your life? Like I know that we have had a couple trainings today in dealing with how to help our parents with their trauma, how to help, children who are exposed to trauma. I sat through a training earlier today. It was awesome. But what about us, right? Are we bringing forth our own trauma every day by trying to strive for the success? Is that something that we stop to ask ourselves? And then I'm going to point out some stressors today just to get you guys a little bit more stressed, okay? So some stressors that we have in your work environment, if you think about it, I realized this afterwards as well, this really is just literally your work environment. This doesn't even include your personal life, okay? Discussions and rumor mills going around the work environment and workplace, that creates stress. The lack of time or your inability to maybe eat a healthy meal at work because you just have to get that report done. You have to get this paperwork finished. That's stress, kind of building into trauma. A crowded workplace. I know employers try their best, but it's sometimes you're just surrounded by people and you don't want to be there. That's stressful. Lack of social interaction also, so the other side of that, right? With this COVID stuff, we were basically told to stay home, but you still got to be productive. That's stressful. And then the news, right? The news. Turn your TV off. I know personally I don't have cable, and one of the best decisions I ever made was sticking to things I wanted to watch. Turn that news off. It's just full of division, hatred, racism, all those things that Dr. Robert Sagan had pointed out. It's rooted, right? We all come from that tree. Some of us have more exposure to those rooted issues, and some of us were fortunate enough to not have those. But if you turn that news on, you're asking for it. You're asking for that to be watered every day. So please turn it off. That's just, if you take nothing from me today, take that. Turn the news off. And exposure to things like intergenerational trauma, gaslighting in your workplace may be happening. Immature defense mechanisms are the result of this. Compassion and empathy fatigue, and suffering from something called imposter syndrome. I added this just a couple days ago because I feel like I was reading about it and it hit me that I was going to be speaking to a large number of females, and that this original syndrome was actually researched and developed to try and explain something that was happening to women in the workplace. And now it's more knowledge now that it doesn't just affect women. But because I'm talking to women, I wanted to bring it up. Imposter syndrome definitely would cause some stress in constantly feeling like someone's gonna find out that I don't know as much as they think I do, right? Maybe that's what's driving you towards that success stress. That I have to prove myself every day because someone's gonna point out that I don't know what I'm talking about, right? It's very stressful. So how do we take care of that? How do we fix that? So we need to change our habits, right? We need to change our habits. I'm also going to keep piling on here because I want you to be super stressed when you think about your when you think about your plan here. I want you to really feel like I have to do this today. I have to participate today because of all of this stress, okay? So bear with me. I'm going to make you feel super, super stressed out. Stress can. These are the effects of stress. Okay, so if you think, big deal, I'm stressed, everybody's stressed, who cares? Well, there's issues with stress, and this is what they are. They can change your eating habits. You know, stress can change your eating habits, meaning negatively. They can make you make bad choices in eating. You know, instead of the salad, you know what? It was a day, I need a beer, and I need a pizza full of meat. Okay? It can lead to feelings of hopelessness and helplessness. So, obviously there you can already see, I'm going to be less effective at work, I'm less effective at home, because I'm dealing with